Well, hello everybody. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We're going to give it some time and let people dribble in, but we do thank you all for being here. If you're new to us or catching this on the replay, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, and share. We need your support and your help to grow to become the largest YouTube channel in the world. That's the only dream we have. Is become the biggest, the best, and the greatest in the whole world, and we can't do that without you. We finished getting us set up here tonight. What? Save? All right. Thank you for joining us there. Appreciate you. How are you? Let us know what's going on in your world. If you would, please let us know. Please let us know what's going on. Pat's in the house, out and about, M&A, Taco Bell, yes. You know, I haven't had any crap food in quite a while. And today I had this weird thing. Well, maybe so I'm probably going to regret it. But I did go to Taco Bell and get a Taco Supreme. I really got a feeling I'm going to regret it. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. If you didn't catch the title of the live stream tonight, because I don't know if it was updated or not, let me get some things moved around here. Got the chat up on the big screen so I can actually read it. Oh my goodness gracious, I hope everybody's doing well. Pat, out and about with M&D, Taco Bell it is. Taco Hell. My dogs like Taco Bell. They think it's dog food. Well, there you go. You pay all that money, you can't even get a napkin. Here's one of my dirty shirts here. Man. What are you guys up to tonight? I'm working on all kinds of things. I think we got our Alabama vacation booked. Got that done today. I wonder what I did with that. Does anybody know where I put that at? Got 8 people watching. If you come looking for beautiful women, well, they're going to be here in about an hour. So just stick around and all the sexy women that you've been drooling over will show up. But for now, until then, you get me. But thank you all for the thumbs up. Subscribe and like it and share it. Say hello to each other. Meet, greet each other. Subscribe to each other. Yeah, I just brought a cable in here and I lost my cable already. I have no clue how I lose things so quickly when I'm the only person in this office. Cooking baby back ribs tonight. Yeah, we bought some ribs the other day. What we do is we look at ribs on clearance and we'll buy them. We'll buy all of them. And we just stick them into the freezer. And then when we need them, we have them. Or when we have Filipino, parties and we grill them, we have ribs. So that's one thing that we do. Kind of works well for us. We have ribs in the freezer, pull them out, thaw them out. Lorelei seasons them up. And then I give them the cooking on the grill. And people love them. There we go. I like ribs. I'm not a huge rib fan, to be honest. They're not one of my favorite things. Are you cooking them in the oven, Pat, or are you grilling them? It's funny, as I eat a couple of tacos here, I hope you guys don't mind. You know, we're hoping to move to Alabama this year and all of that. And so we know we got to sell a house, right? We got to sell this house. And I did a little video about this the other day about how all of these phone numbers and websites that you go to that say, hey, I want to buy your house for cash. I thought, well, let me check with them, because if they give you decent money, you don't got to pay any real estate fees, and maybe it's worth it. And I did a little video talking about how it seems to be a big scam. It seems like what it really is just a data collection center or a method. And what they're going to do is just refer you to Realtor.com. The Realtor.com calls me and says, hey, we don't sell houses, buy houses, but we will hook you up with a real estate agent. Sam YT says hello. Hello to everybody. Everybody say hello to Sam. But today I've gotten a couple messages from people. So we're going to see if these turn out to be scams too. Kind of frustrating. I guess it's legal. How you been? I've been doing pretty good. I was tired a little bit. The winter is still kicking in here. We woke up the other day and had snow on the ground. So what was it? I don't know. Today's Thursday, right? So 2 or 3 days ago, we had bad storms come through this part of the country. Thunderstorms, lightning, heavy winds. And when I got up the next morning, I was shocked to see about a half an inch of snow on the ground. And it was cold. So we went from really decent weather, 50s, 60s, 70s, back down in the 30s. Kind of drives me into, not a good place to be health-wise. So I got tired again. Lorelai did a live stream last night, So, yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm trying to get motivated, which I'm not doing too well. Pat said he was sick yesterday. Sorry to hear that, Pat. I was trying to work on a video yesterday. My allergies were acting up. And every time I tried to talk on the video, I kept losing my voice. I couldn't pronounce any words correctly, which is extremely difficult for me to begin with brain damage, right? So I finally just gave up and said, forget it. When I can't pronounce things or talk, or it doesn't make for a good video. Yeah, a little bit of a head cold. Yep, same here. Wow, yeah, sciatica nerve or whatever made you dizzy. Yep, Sam YT, I appreciate you. I know you've already subscribed, so thank you for that. We appreciate you coming in, visiting us. Like I said earlier, all the beautiful women will be here in a little bit. For now, you guys got to suffer with me, because I know that's why you guys sign in and join up. in hopes of seeing beautiful girls. So, but yeah, to lead off the topic of the live stream today, Pat says, yes, we all want to see beautiful girls. This is what Pat's thinking. I don't know. But I'm trying to get caught up here. No, I guess. See Pat. Yeah, what happens to me, the weather changes a lot, and it just causes sinus drippage, or whatever you want to call, drainage into my throat while I sleep. And then it may take a day or two for it to clear out. It's been happening for years. When I was teaching, say I appreciate that. When I was teaching and this would happen, man, I would drink hot tea and I would take throat lozenges while I would try to lecture. And the one thing I learned from that experience was I would just force myself to talk, before class. I'd be in my office talking to myself like this in hopes of clearing out my throat enough that when I went into my classroom, I had a voice. So, but all right, let me get back to where we were. There we go. I've seen the scam video, Brother Davis, all the Dubai houses and something. Yeah. Well, it's all over the internet. It's on the TV. So I called 6 different companies so far and said, hey, none of them buy houses. They all just take the information, send it to realtor.com. Realtor.com has called me 6 different times and saying, hey, we saw that you're interested in selling your house. Sorry, we don't buy houses, but would you like us to hook you up with a real estate agent? Like, no, I don't. So, now, maybe they don't look at it as a scam because you're not giving them any money, right? But I think it's a little bit of a scam because they're collecting your data on false pretenses. And so I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. I don't know. Because we do want to sell our house this year, and we'll put it on the market for sell by owner. And we will pay a real estate, agent maybe 2%. But we like to try to sell our houses first without any help for sell by owner. Because that 6% is a lot of money. A lot of money. And we're going to, more than likely, overprice our house. My views, your world is back. How are you? You still in Japan? Good to see y'all. Thank you for subscribing to each other. How's it going in Japan? So, yeah. We will overprice our house for sell by owner and hope somebody really needs it or wants it and will pay us cash. Doing good in Japan. How long are you going to be in Japan? Ah, you wasted a day in Japan and being sick. Bummer. Well, you didn't get a pretty sweet young Japanese girl to take care of you while you were sick? Because if you did that, I wouldn't consider it a waste of a day. But when you do sell a house for sell by owner, you do get the people that will try to lowball you. They will go, oh, well, they're probably in desperate need to sell their house. We had somebody, people that we know, the last house we sold before we went to the Philippines, we were selling it for sell by owner. And they came in and thought we were going bankrupt. They told everybody in the Philippine community here that we were broke and that we had to leave America to go live in the Philippines because we had no money. And they thought we were selling our house because we were going bankrupt and all that stupid bullshit. So they made me an offer and I laughed at them. I said, you don't have a clue. One, I don't need to sell. Two, I own the house outright. So you ought to, one, stop running your mouth. But two, no. And I wind up selling the house for $90,000 more than I was asking for it at the time. So Dex is willing to help. Well, I don't have any exes because, just to clarify this, and this makes my wife happy, until I met Lorelai, I never met a girl in my life. I never knew what a girl was. I didn't know they existed. So until I met Lorelai, I had no girlfriends. I didn't even know what a girl was. I thought everybody walking around were boys. So thank God for Google Translate. Yes. And then when we came back from the Philippines, living in the Philippines, the same people were all shocked because we just, bought a house and restocked and set shop up without anybody's help or needs. But, the drama in Phil-Am communities can be unbelievable. Unbelievable. And we don't get involved in it. You guys have probably figured out by now that I'm the type of the guy that if you stick your nose in my business, I'm going to punch you in the nose. One, we don't ask for help. We don't ask for anything, except for a beach house that somebody else should pay for. But we don't ask for help. And, you don't tell us what to do, how to do it. You don't, anything like that. We're not that type of people. We don't stick our nose in your business. Got a whole bunch of people watching. 6,000 thumbs up so far. Let us know who's all in the background watching me eat a taco. I'm almost done, I promise. Then I got to tell you a story. All right. Where's my two dogs? Where's Lily? Lily! Lily! Come here. Hurry. Come here. I know it's really bad of me. But I like to give my dogs the last bite of my food. But it's really bad of me. I shouldn't do that. So, Japan needs Taco Bell? I don't know, man. Nobody needs Taco Bell. I don't even think Taco Bell serves real food. I think Taco Bell's food is all AI generated. It's like on Star Trek. You know, when they go to the food replicator and say, whoop, and they say, make me a cheese sandwich. You know, Star Trek, they make you a cheese sandwich. I think that's what Taco Bell food is. I know there's absolutely no nutritional value in it whatsoever. And it's the adverse effect of it, so. But. So yeah, my wife got roses today. You guys see the picture? She did a couple of videos about it on her Facebook page. So, and I didn't buy them. But somebody sent my wife roses. What do you guys think about that? If somebody sent your wife roses or brought you your wife roses or whatever you want to call it. I thought growing up Taco Bell was real Mexican. Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I probably did the same. It's not even close to Mexican food. And I don't even think you could call Taco Bell Tex-Mex. I'm not for sure what you would call it, but I don't even think you could call it Tex-Mex. I don't know. I know it has to be full of chemicals. Because how else would people like it? And I only ate 3 tacos, and that was way too much for me. I don't eat a lot. So what would you guys think if somebody gave your wife roses? Is that an okay thing to do? Is it okay for men, different men than their husband, to give their wives roses? Is that appropriate? Is it okay? Would you have a problem with it if I sent your wife roses if you had a wife? You know? Dogs barking outside. I wonder. Just wonder what people think of that. My wife is having a birthday here real soon. Throw that out there. I would be shocked. Hopefully the flowers don't become a habit. It depends on the message attached. Very good. Well, luckily for me, Lorelai's not into cut flowers. She would rather have a house plant. So I don't buy her flowers, which saves me a lot of money. But she likes plants and gardening, so that's the route we go. And I think it also matters who sent the flowers and what their intent was, which means the message that was attached, right? So, I don't know. But she got flowers today. Your Filipino wife gets flowers. Should you be happy for her? Should you be concerned? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Just something to think about. Intent is the key. That is correct. The intent. It's always, intent is always the deciding factor on anything. Did you intend to rob that bank? Or when you went in, did they accidentally give you all the money out of the drawers? Did you accidentally rob the bank or did you intend to do it? So I think intent is extremely important. I do. My views, your world. Did I ask you how long you're going to be in Japan? Do you know how long you're staying in Japan? Do you have your place set up in the Philippines yet to go, or are you still figuring all that out? We booked an Airbnb today for Alabama. We got that done. You leave tomorrow for the Philippines. So we did get an Airbnb book for Alabama today. Man, going to run us about $1,300 for a week. I have an apartment reserved. Nice. That's good. Yeah, so we're going to go to Alabama for a week and neighborhood hunt, so to speak. We're going to rent an Airbnb because we don't like staying in. Well, we have the dogs, so we got to take our dogs with us. So it's easier for us, and hotels are not any cheaper, to be honest, unless you stay in a crap hole. So we've had pretty good luck staying in Airbnbs, and we like that because we can take the dogs. We find one with a fenced yard. Ready to go? I bet you are. Hang on. The big white horse. Hey, would my significant other accept rose from somebody? Would be my first question. That's right. Wow. Well, here's the interesting thing about that, and I think that's a great point of this, a great side of this question. I'm actually the one who accepted the roses because she was in bed. They came early this morning while she was asleep. So, how does that play into that, my friend? Big white horse. Appreciate you. So, fan appreciation? Well, I don't know about fan appreciation. How about a husband appreciation? You know? How about that? Well, and well, it kind of does because she may have rejected them when they got here, but I accepted them because I was standing there. So, and I know the backstory of it, and the real question, yeah, is simply put, hey, my wife doesn't like red roses or cut flowers, as I said earlier, but in general, what would you think if somebody gave your wife flowers? Roses, not just flowers like daisies and, hey, you did a great job at work, here's some freaking flowers. So, I don't know. It's just something to think about. And so, would my wife accept? I know that she would not. My wife wouldn't take it. She wouldn't do anything like that. So, and I know that. I know that side of it, Big White Horse. I know that side of the equation that she wouldn't do it. Hey, there's Gary, my retired life too. Good morning from the Philippines. How are you, Gary? Everybody say hello to Gary, my retired life too. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, please do. Gary, how are you? What's going on in your world? So it's cold and miserable here in America, like always this time of the year. Joe's in the house. Evening, y'all, in the chat. Does she have a stalker from her, from them to have the address? Well, that's a good. Oh, that's a good point. What would your wife do? Not do? So let's see. Okay, does she have a stalker? Because they got to have the new address. That's correct. That's a good point. That's a good component of this. Gary's asking, my retired life too, Gary, what would your wife not do? My wife? Man, my wife's tough. Man, I don't know. My wife she'll not do a lot, I guess. So I came in the middle of the conversation. I know. I proposed the question there. My Filipino wife got roses today and they're not from me. So, Gary, the overall questions are, what do you think of that? Would it be appropriate? And of course, it's been brought up, is it appropriate for your Filipina to accept flowers from somebody else? So any and all of those questions and or answers. So yeah, so no one particular question, just a whole bunch of ones surrounding this question or this topic, so to say. Does it matter what type of flowers? Does it matter, if they're yellow roses versus red roses? What if the intent is harmless? What if the intent is not? What if there is a stalker? I've had a stalker. I'll tell you, want to hear a story? I know that a lot of you guys look at me and go, man, I don't know what it is about him, but he's one of the most handsomest men in the whole entire world. I get it. I do. I promise you, I get it. But I had a young lady when I was teaching back at the college who apparently latched onto me. And I came to work one morning about 6:30. I guess she was a nurse. She'd get off work about 6 to 7 or something, and I'd come in around 7:30. I don't know. I had some early morning classes. And there she is sitting in the hallway leaning up against my office door. Creeped me out. Just got to say. Joe says, as long as they are not red roses. Well, Joe, these are a dozen of red roses. Out of respect for the husband or boyfriend, I would never send flowers. Yeah, that's another good side of it. As men, is there ever an occasion that you would send flowers to somebody else's wife? Yeah, and their spouse still be living. Because if somebody's dead, of course, that kind of all bets off, right? Joe says, I'm okay with it. So as we drag this conversation on and on, thank you all for the thumbs up. And we'll keep it going before I tell you the whole story because, anticipation is the best. So let me tell you, Lorelai's having a birthday in a few weeks. This weekend, we're going to go out with another Filipino couple. Not a Phil-Am couple, but a Philippine couple. We're going to go eat some Thai food, I think. We're not doing a big party or anything this year. We're just going to go eat with some friends and take it easy. And interesting thing is, they have birthdays all around the same time as my wife's. And their birthday, the married couple, is on the same day in the same year. So husband and wife were born on the exact same day in the exact same year. Go figure that one out. It's more appropriate to send both the husband and wife the flowers. Yeah, okay. So what you're saying is, if you're sending the family or the household flowers versus, hey, Bob, sweet, hot-looking, sexy woman, here's some flowers for you. But if you sent a couple flowers or a house plant or something like that, that's appropriate, especially like in a housewarming gifts, or maybe they had a baby or, crap like that, right? That would be appropriate. So Joe's okay with it. Joe doesn't care. He's good with it. So yeah, so that's what you got to, when this happened today, I started thinking and wondering, is it ever appropriate to do these things? I don't even like my girlfriend entertaining other men while drinking. I'm definitely not going to feel some type of way about flowers. Okay, my view is your world. I don't even like my girlfriend entertaining other men while out drinking. Definitely not going to feel okay about some flowers. All right. Yeah, well, one, we don't go, just say we don't go out drinking, but I agree with you. You don't want your spouse, whether you're male or female, we got to be fair here, to be hanging out with the other people in the bar. That's not cool. I just came by to say hi and give thumbs up and keep listening to you, but I'm off for the breakfast. All right. So Gary's going to go get some rice, an egg, and some corned beef hash for breakfast this morning. That's what I would have. One of the good things in the Philippines to eat for breakfast. I'm not going to eat pork adobo for breakfast or sardines. If it's a birthday party or so it's a wedding, yeah, that'd be all right. Weddings, birthday parties, anniversaries, stuff like that. I think that's well and appropriate. I would agree. I totally agree with all that. And so we're going to go to birthday, dinner. What else are we doing? We booked our Airbnb in Alabama. We got that all scheduled. That's going to run about $1,200 for the week, if I didn't tell you that already. Just for the lodging, not including the travel, the food, and the fishing license, because we're going to do some fishing in Alabama. So I'm getting excited about that. I'm getting the trip planned out. Cornflakes and milk, prune juice and black coffee. That's my everyday breakfast. Ooh. All right. I never liked the cornflakes. I don't drink milk anymore. Prune juice is okay. Black coffee is supposed to be good for you, Gary, so that's a good thing. I don't really do breakfast anymore. I just have a thing of juice, and then I eat at noon. So that's what I'm doing. I've been drinking a lot of V8 juice, and I really seem to like that, and I think it's helping me lose a little bit of weight. Because this year I got to try to get another 30 pounds off. I'm down 50-ish, 50, a little bit over 50, depending on the day of the week. So a lot of times a V8 juice will fill me up for a few hours and has a lot of vitamins, no artificial ingredients, and low calories. So Gary likes the Bear brand powder milker. Nice. Yeah, horse, I really like, well, if I had to choose between prune and grapefruit, it's going to be grapefruit, without question. So a little bit of prune juice goes a long ways. The flavor's too intense for me. So I don't like that. I like the sourness of the grapefruit and the fact that grapefruit doesn't feel like it has a lot of sugar in it. Like orange juice, I love orange juice, but it feels like it has sugar. You know, you can just taste. And apple juice to me just reminds me of pee. And I don't like that, you know? So, yeah, you know. So that's what we're working on. We got the Airbnb booked, everybody. Cannot drink grapefruit juice with cholesterol meds. Okay, because it probably neutralizes the meds or makes your stomach too acidic and it doesn't absorb correctly. I got to go tomorrow. I need to put tires on my truck. That's going to cost us, $1,200. Maybe this is the next couple of months for $1,200. So I got a tire that's acting up, and I checked my other tires on my old truck, and one of them's wore down pretty bad. They're all unevenly wore. So I don't drive it much. I could probably get away with another year, 6 months, but I don't know. I'm just going to go get new tires on it. My old beat up fishing truck is a 2008 Dodge Dakota 4-wheel drive SLT. So it was the top of the line Dodge Dakota back in the day. And I bought it used after we got back from the Philippines, and we've had it 3 years, and I've driven it about 20,000 miles since, and I don't know how old the tires are that's on it. Gary likes the cornflakes. I don't like cornflakes because they get too mushy. You know, I don't like that. It's kind of weird. I like, the cereal I eat is shredded wheats. If I eat cereal, I like to eat shredded wheat. and or Raisin Bran Crunch. Those are the two cereals that I like. So yeah, I called around, looked around on the internet today, and got set up tomorrow to go to Firestone, throw 4 new tires on the old beat up fishing truck. And they have about $200 in road dates, so that brought the price of these tires down to about $1,200 out the door. So I like all cereals. Was raised on cornflakes though. Nice. I used to like Fruit Loops and Captain Crunch when I was younger. I liked all that sugary crap. But for me now, those type of cereals leave kind of like a film in your mouth, kind of like a coating. That's not good, I don't like that. So, not big on that. But I like shredded wheat. Mine get mushy too. I don't like the mushy. I eat it quickly. Yes. Yeah, I was into eating the oatmeal a lot, the flavored oatmeal, which is bad for you because there's too much sugar and chemicals in it, artificial flavoring. And then I really like grits, so I would buy the instant grits, but they're just full of garbage too. So I was eating a banana every morning for the last couple of years, and I've gotten really burned out. So now I'm truly just eating a V8 juice, and then later on having lunch. So I'm not even doing breakfast. But I'm hoping I can get some more weight off once I get outside this spring a little bit, get some more energy going, go fishing some more. I'm looking forward to that. That's one of the good things I think about moving down south where it's warmer. At least I'll be more active 10 or 11 months out of the year versus 7 to 8 months out of the year. So for me, it's important to be active. So that's the other exciting thing we're doing. Got to get tires on the truck. Before we go, I got to get tires rotated on Lorelei's car. Get the oil changed before we go to Alabama in April, but we got plenty of time for that. Plenty of time for that. Now, if there's anybody going to be down in southern Alabama that wants to meet up with us, all you got to do is ask. We're going to be down in the Foley, Alabama area. We're going to be running all over the Mobile, Alabama area. I do too, Horace. I really like the V8 juice. I really do. Really, really enjoy it. And I've read the ingredients. It's just fruit. Vegetables. It's just, they don't add any chemicals to it. And so I buy it. I buy it by the big 24 packs when I can find it and enjoy it. You haven't been to Alabama in 20 years? We were there about 4 or 5 years ago. We were in Mississippi a couple years ago. But we're thinking about living in Alabama. So Lorelei and I are going back down with the intent purpose of circling neighborhoods that we like. Finding fishing spots that tie into neighborhoods that we like or that might make neighborhoods look more exciting. We're going to be also looking for all the Asian stores, the fresh seafood markets, so we know where everything is. So that way, when we sell our house, I can turn around and go, okay, maybe we won't have to rent a house in Alabama for very long, just short term, because I already know the area well enough that I can pinpoint and go, yeah, that's a good deal. We like it there. We know that house. Or, a real estate person can show us the house and blah, 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 and go from there. But we really, you haven't been below Tuscaloosa? We really like the Gulf Coast. We like to live in Florida, but as I've said, Florida's too expensive. This part of Arkansas is way too expensive. Where I live is for the rich people, and I'm the poor person, so, we don't fit in here. I was talking to, something you guys might find interesting. I was talking to our good friend James. Big move from where you are living now to Alabama. It's a 9-hour drive. We're in Arkansas. So, for me, I'll tell you what's going to be difficult for me on the move is how to do it physically. So, and what I mean by this, packing, figuring out if we're going to use shipping pod containers, if we're going to hire a moving company, if we're going to rent a U-Haul, because I'm very limited physically in what I can do. That's going to be the biggest challenge for us is how do we physically pack our shit and get it to Alabama without blowing the budget all to hell. Hope, Arkansas, yep, down south in Hope. So yeah, Arkansas is okay, but we live in the northwest section, which is home to all the rich companies and where the rich people live. And we have more millionaires per capita here than just about anywhere. But if you're not one of them, and we're hoping that the interest rates on mortgages coming down, if they can keep driving them down, and if we can sell this for sale by owner without paying a real estate commission, we can make a profit after the last 3 years. Or maybe 2.5 years of home ownership, I guess. So that's what we're hoping. Because I want to take my proceeds, not just my equity, and reinvest it in the new house. So that's kind of where our mind is financially. But we do like Alabama, very much. It's kind of like the Florida Panhandle, Pensacola, Destin, all of that region, Panama City. It's all the same. All the same. It's going to give me the opportunity to do a whole lot more fishing, which is what I like to do. So that's what we're up to. But our good friend James, I thought here's a funny story. James called me the other day, and he lives out in California. And I became his wingman for some Filipina chicks. So he was at a Subway store, and some Filipina women were working there, and James likes Filipina women. And I told him, I said, James, here's what we got to do. You just go up to him and say, hey, my friend on the phone here is married to a Filipina, and they have a YouTube channel. That gives you a dialogue, a conversation starter to chit-chat with these chicks, with these Filipinas. And said, then you can take it from there, but you're just showing them, hey. And I said, you can show them our channel or our Facebook page, whatever. Tell them I'm married to a Filipina from Cebu. And maybe it makes the girls go, oh, he knows our culture, so they're a little bit more at ease. So I was playing his wingman on the phone the other day. So I haven't talked to him, so I don't know if he got phone numbers or what, but I think they were making Facebook buddies out of him. He was making Facebook buddies out of all these girls. So, but he's out in San Francisco, California, where there's a lot of Filipinos. And I mean a lot of Filipinos. So if you don't want to go to the Philippines for a Filipina, you can always go to San Francisco. A lot of them, or New York, or Central Florida. Central Florida has another one of the largest populations. They are sweethearts. They are. Mine got red roses today. So just thought I would, point that out. Not for me. They are. But Central Florida, Orlando to Tampa, filled full of them. San Francisco, all over the place. New York has a pretty heavy population too. Texas has 2 pockets, but they're kind of separated. But I think the one in Florida is the most active. They're always doing something. So I felt good that I was able to say, man, look, you don't need to be shy about it. And here's the way you can do it, man. James, just tell them you know somebody who's married to a Filipina. That we got a YouTube channel, right? Say, hey, look, And say, oh, by the way, what's your name, hottie? You got a phone number? Woohoo! Let me give you a call, baby. Strut your stuff. So that was kind of fun. But, so we got some exciting things coming up for Lorelei. Hopefully you guys will see soon. So, but no. How long have I been on here? All right. Well, we're not going to be on here super long tonight. I got some stuff I got to work on. But I'm going to tell you, let me tell you about the red roses. So, Lorelai got red roses today. And she was asleep when they came. So she made a couple videos about them. But I didn't buy them for her. But her birthday's coming up, so one of our really good dear friends, who's in his 80s, brought her over flowers for her birthday. So GTX says, hey, 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 everybody. So that's why Lorelai got roses. My wife got red roses from another dude, because it's her birthday coming up this next week. And he's going to be out of town, so he wanted to drop some flowers over to make her smile. So, what do you guys think about that? In that situation, is it appropriate? He's kind of like, I don't know, in a way, he's kind of like a father to Lorelai, but more like an older brother to me, you know, even though he's way older than me. You know, so that's what that happened there. Maybe I should have not gave them to her. I would have said they were from me, but she knows and took credit for it. But Lorelai knows that I know that she doesn't like cut flowers. It wouldn't be her first thing. So she's more into plants and landscaping and gardening and stuff like that versus cut flowers. So she would have known right away, why would you buy me roses? Because you're supposed to buy me a Louis Vuitton purse, not a rose, not 12 dozen or a dozen roses. You know, would be her first. You know better. You know, you're not supposed to be bringing me cut flowers. You're supposed to be saving up and getting me a Louis Vuitton purse. Is what her mind would have said. I'm like, well, you know, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. It's cold and miserable here at GTX. Everybody say hello to GTX. GTX say hello to everybody. We're doing good, man. We're raising money. Oh, let me tell you the excitement. If anybody wants to help us with school supplies for the Philippines, you can go to our PayPal account. It's on our YouTube channel. It's right there. Maybe here, I'll drop it real quick. I think I got it pulled up. Send us some money on PayPal. Make a note of it, what it's for. Because what we're going to do and what we are doing, we've raised a good chunk of money so far, but we can always use more, is we're buying school supplies for the most underprivileged in the Philippines. So what that means is families that have a decision to make. If I buy school supplies, we don't eat, or since I can't afford school supplies, I won't send my kids to school. So we have a group of some people that we work with in the Philippines that are already identifying these type of families. And so we raise money. Lorelai and I donate the money anyway before we even told you guys about it in the years past. And we would get that child everything it needs to cover the cost for the school year. And the school year starts in June. So we're in the next couple weeks, next couple months, we're collecting funds for school supplies. So they will buy it all in the Philippines where it's cheap, organize it, and give them packets of school supplies designed for their schools, is what we're doing. And so we're collecting money for that, and we've had some good response and some good help and good support, so I really appreciate that. But we could always use more, is what I'm saying. So if you got a few extra $1,000 or a couple bucks that you want to help out with school supplies for, because when I was telling somebody today, what you guys got to realize is in countries like the Philippines, school's not mandatory. So if mom and dad can't afford to send you to school, then they just won't. And what happens is now that generation comes up poor and they never make it any better. So they have no chance of getting an education. GTX says, I love my Iraq. Excellent. Big White Horse says, I have known married couples alone in the situations like that. Everyone knows jealousy exists. Yes. Yes. So yeah, our good friend dropped off roses this morning, and I told him I appreciate him dropping off roses. I knew Lorelai would love it, so she got a kick out of it, and he didn't know that she doesn't like cut flowers. So, but he's like 80, 87 or 88 years old. He's a great guy, and he's going out of town, and his birthday's right around the same time as all these other people's here, and we invited him to dinner to go with us, but he has to go out of town. So he's like, no, let me drop these off for your wife before I go. And it's kind of like her dad, her American dad. So, yeah. But I thought it brought up an interesting topic. How would you feel if somebody gave roses to your wife or to your woman, to your girlfriend? And if you're a girl, would you even give a crap if somebody gave flowers to your husband? Let's flip the coin. Would Lorelai get mad if some girl gave me flowers? Oh hell, I would be killed. I'd be killed for accepting them. You know, I could be at a hospital, hanging out. Maybe she's having a test done, and they could be giving away flowers that are going to go bad, or house plants, flowers, anything. And if it was a girl who came up and said, would you guys like any of these to take home? And if I said yes, I would have to look at that girl in her eyeballs. I don't care if she was 500 years old collecting Social Security or not. I'd have to say, sorry, no. Because man, oh man, would I be in trouble. And they could be giving them away to everybody. What you have to do if you're married to a Filipina and say, well, that's very nice of you. Lorelai, why don't you ask my wife? Otherwise, well, that girl was flirting with you. Well, that girl was 500 years old collecting Social Security. She's older than the 350-year-old person collecting Social Security. Yeah, so, and these were flowers, that are going to go whatever, I don't know. So, interesting, right? Me, I think if a dude, and you're right, guys, with my wife, if a dude tried to give her flowers, she would shove them back in their face. So now our good friend is a totally different thing. But yes, if some guy tried to give Lorelai's flowers at her work or sent her flowers, if they sent her flowers to our house, she'd be really pissed. I mean, she would call the police and go, I got a stalker. She'd be one very, very unhappy camper. One very unhappy camper. So, kind of interesting and kind of fun, though. You got to be able to make light of things, take advantage of things where you can. So, but what are you gonna do? I didn't buy her anything for her birthday. Well, we did. I bought her some shoes for her birthday this year. She could never tell me what she wanted. So we bought shoes one time here recently that she really liked. And I said, okay, that can be your birthday present. Because you never tell me what you really want for your birthday, except for you want a Louis Vuitton purse, which it's outside the budget cycle currently. So that's what's going on with us. School supplies going well, is what I was saying. We've had some people donate some money to us. We appreciate that. We're keeping track of all of that. We talked to our counterparts in the Philippines, told them how well we're doing. They're excited because it looks like we're going to be able to help more children this year than we ever have with school supplies. So I'm very, very tickled about that. Well, and I gave her some money, Gary. I gave her some money the other day. And you know what my wife said? Oh, is this my allowance? And I said, no, you don't get allowance. You know this. And she's like, well, I'm like, no, you don't get allowance because you can just buy what you want out of our money. But I did. I went to the bank because I'm taking my dog Daisy to get a haircut on Monday. And I went to the bank the other day and took out cash so I can play the haircutting lady because I always pay her in cash. It's a small business and I just want to give her cash. No tax record. I won't name her so the IRS doesn't come and try to kill her for taking cash. But she does a good job. So I went to the bank and I told her, I said, hey, I got to take some money out for the haircutting lady. And I took some extra out and gave it to her. And I said, this is for you. And she's like, well, what's it for? And I said, well, the other day you had to go to a birthday party and you needed cash. And you're always complaining you don't have enough cash in your wallet in case you need it. So here's some money to put in your wallet. And she's like, so this isn't my allowance? And I'm like, well, no, it's not your allowance. But I guess if you want to look at it as an allowance, she's like, well, is it weekly? I'm like, no, no. Is it monthly? And I'm like, no, no, that's just some money for you to put over here for yourself to keep in cash. Most barbers that I went to in the US only take cash. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really go to a barber, but this is a dog groomer. And she takes, but you got to pay the 2 and 3%. She does take checks from her regulars. But if you want to use a card swipe, you got to pay that extra 2 or 3%. But I just take out cash to the bank when I drive the dog over there. If I don't have cash, I just go and get some. Because she, I think she charges me like 63 or about $65 to take care of Daisy 100%. That's everything. And so I just give her $80 in cash. I give her a tip. I've rounded up to $80. Craig Parrish. Well, yeah, I probably said haircutting person. I don't know. Gary. Craig's in the house. Everybody said hello to Craig. Craig from the land down under. How are you, mate? Craig, somebody gave my wife roses. Were you listening earlier? Can you believe that? Well, how would you feel if somebody gave your Filipino wife red roses? Everybody said hello to Craig. Craig saying hello. Craig, how you been? I hope you've been busy down yonder. So I gave her some money. And she did get a pay raise this year. So I'll try to make sure she has more cash hidden back. Now, my wife is really good about hoarding cash. Trust is no problem. Trust is no problem for me. Right, I agree. I trust Lorelai, but how would you feel if somebody gave your wife roses? So, what would you think about that? Chose one. If you don't behave, one of my blue people will send you to prison. Just the way it is in this world. So, that's kind of the question, right? As I told the story, this actually turned out to be the guy that gave Lorelai roses today, gave them to her for her birthday, which is down the road here, but he's going to be out of town. And he's kind of like her American father. He's in his late 80s. He's like a brother to me. We've known him forever. And so he just brought her over birthday roses, which is perfectly fine. But I just thought it'd be fun to throw it out there to see what people thought of the topic. Hope your wife doesn't work for the federal government. She does not. She does not. But now's a good time to sharpen your resume and see about getting a job with the federal government. Because after they get rid of all the bad people, all the people not actually showing up for work, they will be on it. So you got to give them 6 months. Because you got to remember, I worked for the state government for most of my adult life. Once they do a cleansing, they start to rehire. So people think, oh my goodness, now give it 6 months and there's going to be a lot of good federal jobs out there available. Because a lot of people are going to retire, they're going to take the buyouts, they're going to quit, they're going to go, I'm not working for him, blah, blah, blah. They're going to throw hissy fits, and they're going to get out of the work sector. And there's going to be a lot of good jobs come available starting in about 6 months. So, Craig says, depends on circumstances. Absolutely. Well, how would you feel? Would it make a difference if they sent them to your house and you didn't know? What if you didn't know the person? So if it was like some Joe Blow and all of a sudden some flowers showed up at your house for your wife, Would that make a difference? Because then, like somebody was talking about earlier, you might have a stalker on your hands. So, but yeah, Gary, yeah, she doesn't work for the federal government. I'm hoping she can get a job remotely. I really like for Lorelai to start working on becoming a remote worker. Saves me from buying them. That's right. That's right. Wow, it's Dennis in the house. Wow, CP and G-Man, yes. And the same live stream. My life is up. I know, we're blessed. Dennis, we've hit the pinnacle, of the world, man. We got the two most outstanding expats in the house. My retired life, Gary, the position in the government will be eliminated or replaced by Musk robots. Maybe. They're definitely going to improve the computer systems, which is good. So that's a good thing. Gary's hello, Dennis. Greg is hello, Dennis. So, but in all seriousness, yes, they're going to eliminate a lot of positions. But I'm telling you how the government works. You give it 6 months and they start rehiring. Now, admit, the job may be retitled and it may be redesigned, but they will be hiring people. Trump is a smart man. He's shaking up stuff real good in these 4 years, like it or not. Well, and I'll tell you guys, and I've said this many times, I like to stir shit up. I'm okay with people that like to stir the shit, rock the boat, so to speak. I don't have a problem with it. Whether it turns out good or bad, I still think when you rock the boat, it's a good thing. Shake this. Don't worry. Dennis, we no longer have any interest in most of your country. We're just going to take over one of the provinces in your country. And it's going to become the state of Ontario, I think, is what they were joking about today. As long as we can keep our favorite positions, it'd be fine. Yes, yes, yes. So, but yes, I think this, and I'll say this, because I really am a big believer in rocking the boat. I think when you are willing to blow up the planet, so to speak, to burn down the building, so to speak, if they don't believe you, but they're not for sure if you will or won't do it, then I think it's a good thing because I think it makes people think. And they go, okay, well, maybe we should do this. Maybe we shouldn't do that. What I do worry about, though, is there's going to be a situation here soon. Now, Ukraine kind of did this, and now he screwed the pooch, so to speak. But Ukraine, based on what the Democrats told him, Zelensky, went in there and wanted to start a bunch of shit with the Republicans. He found out that didn't work out in his favor, and he called Trump's bluff. He thought Trump was bluffing. Hey. So we turned off military aid and said, go back home. And when you get kicked out of the White House, it's a pretty big deal. That's correct. People don't think anymore. They're just told what to think. So they figured out that he wasn't bluffing. If you don't want peace, then we won't help you. We're not going, because what Ukraine seemed to want was for Americans to send troops into Ukraine to fight Russia. And we're not going to do that, folks. We're not going to go fight Russia for Ukraine. They're not worth it. Sorry, Ukraine, you're not worth it. So when he figured that out, he had to come back and go, whoops. And I do think the same thing with the tariffs. I think the other governments will start going, okay, well, they're going to happen unless I meet his demands. And you know what? The demands really aren't that unreasonable. As long as IT people at the SSA Well, I'm going to talk about Social Security. I can talk about that. That keep the computer systems running smoothly or not eliminated. Well, Gary, what I'm going to tell you about that, you better make sure you got somebody looking out for your dead letter. And you better make sure that you start logging into your account if you're overseas. Because what they found, if you didn't catch this, was they've been sending out dead letters for the last 10 years, and when nobody replied to it, they didn't do anything about it. A dead letter, if you don't know, is a letter from Social Security asking if you're still alive, to confirm that you're still alive and receiving benefits. And at the end, if they don't get that back in a timely fashion, well, I'm sorry, then they turn your Social Security off, and then you got to contact them and to convince them you're still alive. Well, that hasn't been happening. So there's estimated millions of people who are dead who never responded. So they are going to be doing that now. So I want you all, and I've been telling expats this for years, smartest thing you can do is make sure you answer those dead letters and or log on to your account. Because that's going to happen. One of the ways they're going to weed out corruption and fraud is by doing that. So, but, I do think at some point somebody will want to push Trump, push America, and something bad's going to happen. I do think that. I really do. I think at some point somebody will say, well, I'm going to call his bluff and, but. Well, my friends, I'm going to get off of here for tonight. I appreciate you all. I'm going to be back on in the morning. Lorelai might do one tonight when she gets home. If you guys are around, keep her in your thoughts. If you see Lorelai, wish her a happy birthday. Keep logging on your account as good it is. And if you don't get your dead letter, they're going to assume you're dead. So everybody, we appreciate y'all. Take care. And we'll see you tomorrow night for sure. Absolutely tomorrow night. We'll be later tomorrow night. All right? Take care, guys.